What's up, guys? Hey, it's Arthur. How are you? Everybody, I'm here at Marco's office. I hope you can see me okay. Everything is I'm doing all right. I guess glitter bombed is the term people like to use. It was pretty damn painful. You know, there was a burning, and I was able to drive at the extended length as I could. Full disclosure, I contacted Marco. I think that's more important than anything right now about me. Marco is fine. His son Michael is fine. Michael went with us as well. We found a place. I went to Berkeley in the morning. I was able to find a place to park, and I went to Martin Luther King Jr. Plaza. Once in a while, you might see me getting out a cloth in case if my skin starts to set off a little bit. But I'm starting to heal. I'm okay. I'm following comments, but let me start with the basics. Marco is fine. Marco, Latinos for Trump, is fine. This guy had a piece and a commendable piece about him that I envy. It was really something. There was that. There was Michael. There was a guy who had my poster. Pretty much, all the externals got taken away. I actually lost my glasses. My glasses got taken off. Somebody hit the glasses off my face. The interesting thing is, for about half an hour, I was in Martin Luther King Jr. Plaza. I didn't even notice that my glasses were gone. So, hey, maybe I don't really need them anymore as much as I thought that I had needed them. So far, so good. I might be adjusting this just a little bit. I'm a little new to the techniques. Are we cool, everybody? We're okay? Good? Excellent. The main chair will stay for Marco. I won't be sitting there. Okay, I get to sit here as the guest on the sidelines, and that's an honor right there. Apparently, Jovi is off on another fun exploit. I commend him for that. I don't know what he was able to do. It was probably about 3:30. I got 3 or 4 messages from people, and they said, "Arthur, get out of there. Arthur, you need to leave." I had friends of mine in the Los Angeles area saying, "Get out of there, go like now." And, then I'm starting to see these people all in black, walking up. And I was like, okay, I think it's time to leave. But I want to make sure, let me affirm that again, okay? Michael is fine. That's Marco's son. Marco is fine. And Jovi is fine. Those were the 3 people that I was connected with. I have a great friend of mine. His name is Fred Garvey. He also lives here in East Bay. And he helped me out a great deal. He was able to give me a place to land, so to speak. And off we went. We walked up the street. We actually found a lot of people who were pretty supportive, cordial. They were kind to us. Some people wanted to take photos of us. I had my Trump hat, my Trump cape, all of which are gone, by the way. Oh, brother. But I'll get to that in a minute. Okay. So we were walking to Martin Luther King Park, and there I see there were more police. There were Alameda County sheriffs as well as Berkeley police. Everybody was there. It was pretty incredible. It was just, it was something else to behold just in itself. It was really something. Just making sure everybody can see as needed here. Make sure I can see the comments okay. If I'm a little tilted, oh well, I'll try to fix that too. I'm kind of new at this. Marco's the pro. Anyway, sorry. So, at any rate, we're doing the best we can, folks. Anyway, so we had that. Let me get this taken care of here. Some of you, okay, that's pretty good right there. Okay, so it was pretty decent starting out. There was a lot of press. There were, hardcore liberals and leftists liberals that were there, and I was willing to talk to them. And I said, I'm here for free speech. I'm here for Trump. I'm interested in going to every, blue section of the state of California, not just the red ones. I don't see any reason why we can't be there, and make our case. I'm fed up with this idea that there's some places I can't go. I was in San Francisco yesterday. I was in Pacifica. I went all over the Bay Area, and I had a great time. So nobody's going to tell me where I can and cannot go. I kind of agree with Jovi. If you tell me I can't go there, I'm definitely going to go there. I will double down and go there. That's what I'm going to do. So I got to talk to a lot of liberals, liberal-leaning people. I had the chance to say some really bold things for about 2 hours. I found myself debating with individuals of different backgrounds. There was one guy who was very liberal-leaning. He had a Black Lives Matter pin on, but he was very strongly in support of the Second Amendment. That was really something. I learned a couple days ago, gun control laws had been enacted in order to target black people. They were racist, especially in the South, preventing black Americans, freedmen, from having a firearm to protect themselves was a very common practice in the democratic South. And now you can go throughout the South, and Second Amendment rights are very common. I love being able to upend and dispute that awful narrative that progressives have been pushing for 60 years, which is that they were on the side of civil rights and Republicans were the bigots, and it's just not so. Republicans, from the moment our party was conceived in 1854, was anti-slavery and pro-civil rights, and we've continued to do so. Black, white, Asian, everybody being able to exercise First Amendment, Second Amendment rights. And I made the case sharing this at length with people. There was a reporter from KRON who had me on Twitter, and I said, KKK and the Nazis are left-wing. And there were some comments that were incredulous and outraged by that, or, boy, what mental reality does that guy live in? Well, it's a historical record. Mussolini was a socialist, and then he took it into fascism. It's a left-wing ideology. National Socialism, it's a left-wing ideology, which specifically targets minorities and corrupts the business sector in order to promote the government agenda. That's fascism there too. There were a lot of people who, they could laugh at me, they could mock me, they could say, we don't agree with anything you're saying, but for the most part, it was very cordial and respectful, and I enjoyed it. And that's exactly what I wanted. I know that's what Joey Gibson wanted. I know that's what Tiny wanted. I know that's what John Williams wanted. That's what everybody wanted. And for the most part, I got to do that. Unfortunately, things became more violent about 30 minutes before the bleep hit the fan, so to speak. Somebody grabbed my hat and tried to pull my cape. I wear the cape as a part just to keep my hands free. And I was like, why are you doing this? What is going on here? We don't like you. We don't like your message. So I have to say, who's the one who's the fascist here? Who's the Nazi? Who are the violent ones? I mean, the whole corruption of this narrative is just in full force here. It's just unmistakable. Marco and I were able to connect, and then someone else was able to connect with me too. It was really something. We started to edge closer and closer. I'll be very honest with you. I head towards a police officer or a group of police officers as much as I can, hoping I can get in touch with somebody. I walked south and then I walked east on one of the streets, and it hit a new level. I see these guys in black shirts and they're coming after me and they're saying, "Get out of here! You don't belong here." Somebody pulled up my cap, took that, and somebody took my cape off. I don't know how they did that, honestly. Then I got hit. I was glitter bombed, I guess. The official alt-left sent out a tweet to me, I guess, and they say, alt-right. This alt-right meme is so meaningless to me. What are they talking about? It's so meaningless now. So to me, I just respond and say alt-right means nothing, but we have seen the face of the alt-left. Thank you, Donald Trump, for labeling them, which is what all of us need to be in the business of doing. Alt-left are the KKK. Alt-left are the Nazis. Alt-left are the commies. Alt-left are the socialists. I'll go on one more detour on that whole alt-left, alt-right mantra. My sophomore year in high school, I went to Torrance High. Go Tartars. Don Nicholson was my history teacher, and he had devised a political continuum which was distinct. Most people have a political continuum as a line, but for Nicholson, what he did is he turned it into a horseshoe. That communism and Nazism, socialism are actually very, very, very close together. There's very little difference between the two, actually. Rather than seeing a left and right, he didn't see them that way. And I would say it skews to the left. Use of violence, use of an expansion of the state, a totalitarian ideology. We're talking about the left here. We're not talking about the right. With the right, we're talking about natural hierarchies which are respected, traditional values which are honored, natural laws which are respected. The left is about leveling everybody, using force to impose some kind of a vision of society, creating some kind of a pure race or an ideal culture of people. It's all manufactured, and it's by force, it's by repression. That's what National Socialism did. That's what communism was all about, too. The only difference is communists want to target class, and the Nazis wanted to target race. But I guess Antifa wants to target race, too. So there was that. Okay, so I'm walking down the street. Boy, this was like the scariest thing. It was scary, you know, and you'll hear me. I'll be muttering. I'll be speaking verses. No weapon formed against me prospers. As Christ is, so are we in this world. You know, our feelings, our minds will definitely go in 15 different places, and so did mine. I saw things be taken away. When I got glitter bombed, though, it's like, what the heck? It's like I could taste pepper. It's like, wow, I was pepper sprayed? That's what it feels like? And I said, the only choice that I have here is I turn towards a gas station. I thought of that lady, that strong lady in San Jose, and she turned towards a building that had glass, and she stood there, and there were cameras pointing at her, and people were throwing eggs at her. And I thought, I'm going to do, to the best of my knowledge, what she did. And so I turned into a gas station. I said, I'm going to sit down, and I'll let the press be my wall. That's what I came up with. And they did a really good job, actually. You know, I had 15 cameras in my face. There were two leftists. There was this one guy who was constantly badgering and yelling at me. And, you know, I'm just trying to take a deep breath. And, you know, I'm just trying to recover from all this burn sensation on my skin. Not sure what the heck is going on. And while I'm sitting there, you know, and I just say, you know, Donald Trump is bringing back jobs. Donald Trump is ensuring the rights of all are protected. Donald Trump is, you know, ensuring the protection of our Second Amendment rights. I'm going to try to stay on message. I came here for free speech. I wanted to continue trying to do what I had done at MLK Park. I don't see what else I can do here. And finally, a police officer shows up, and I kind of yell at him. It's like, I'm not going anywhere if you're not going to protect me. You know, that's a job you have. Point of fact, before you know, as I was turning towards that gas station, some of the police officers began blocking the Antifa. I hope they arrested some of those creeps, the ones who took my hat and my cape. My glasses are gone. I didn't even notice it for 30 minutes. And they're gone now. I'm able to see okay, which is great. But I was glittered out, so yeah, I had a little bit of my glitterati. I'm still wearing my pro-LGBT shirt. Everybody liked my shirt, even people on the left. I'm glad I wore it. You know, I'm pro-liberty, pro-gun. This is a beer. I'm pro-Bible. I should probably put something in there, but, you know, whatever. I don't have a problem with beer. I don't drink it. And then, of course, pro-Trump. That's my LGBT. And everybody really liked my shirt. Everybody really liked it. Even people on the liberal-leaning people, they really liked it. So you know, there was a lot of victory here. I'm sorry it descended into violence. I didn't like that I saw police leaving the plaza, and that put me in a bad spot. I didn't like that. That's a real problem to me. I think we're going to have to add Berkeley to that class action lawsuit that RNC chairwoman, Republican National Committee Chairwoman Harmeet Dillon is pursuing. But you know what? All I can do is make an opinion. She gets to do whatever she wants, essentially. But we're seeing the same crap here. We're seeing police officers who are not standing up, but it seems that they're just kind of waiting for something really, really, really bad to happen, and then they get involved, and that's not good. We know that the mayor of Berkeley was exposed. My arm's kind of burned up still, so I put some ice on it, but I'm doing really, really well. Someone says I deserve a beer. Thanks, but I don't even drink beer. But it's okay. Beer is okay, especially for bathing. Anyway, there was that, but that was a crazy moment. Says, I'm going to sit here. I had 15 cameras in my face. There was this one pink lady. I don't know if she was a wannabe Antifa or something. She keeps saying, you need to leave. I'm going to give you a hand. You need to leave. You need to get out of here. You need to leave. Says, I'm not going anywhere. I get to sit here and be at rest as much as I can. I might have seemed a little delusional when sitting there, but this is the place where I can go to have some degree of safety, and that's what I did. Finally, a police officer showed up. He asked if I needed medical attention. And I said, you know what, I'm just going to take it easy. I couldn't believe the timing was beyond perfect. It was divine. As soon as I'm walking to the sidewalk, Vincent James of the Red Elephants turns up along with David Feiner and another friend of his. Some of you have mentioned that you were watching the Red Elephants live feed. I think it was on Periscope. Periscope's kind of a tough animal for me. I like the Facebook Live format. It's, to me, easier to interact. I like seeing hearts and thumbs up. That's really nice. That was just beyond amazing. This is the biggest shout out that I can give. If Vincent James is watching, great. If he isn't, please let him know. Thank you. Vincent, thank you. David, thank you. And there was a third man. I can't think of his name right now. If someone can remind me or tell me what his name is, I would really appreciate that. Thank you all. And the outrage they felt for the police was strong. We were beyond outraged with the lack of support and defense. The greatest police department I've seen is the Los Angeles Police Department. They line up military style. They ensure that left and right are separated so there's no violence. Many of you saw that when I was at LAX January the 29th. It was really impressive. They finally realized we're going to have to separate. This is the only way we can do it. And they're very hardcore about that. I couldn't even go over near the, liberals or the Antifa side or to take photos. They say, go over there. They're very hardcore about that. They ensure borders at the airport. And I want to see borders along our southern wall. I tell you, it was scary. Vincent was driving around and we had people following us. And so he did some really hard corkscrews in those Berkeley streets. He did an excellent job. It was kind of scary. I was, half out of my mind. I was just trying to figure out how to put two and two together. I couldn't believe this was happening. I was kind of angry at first. I said we should have got out sooner. I tried to tell people, these are challenging times. I can only hope that in spite of all the things that have happened to me, that there will be more people all around the country, including our federal officials, who will see what has happened and take charge to do something about it. Thank you again, Vincent, David, and the third guy. One day I'll know your name for sure. So there's that. We even went near a police station briefly when we parked there to try to catch our breath. Then the police officer gets all up in our faces and says, you guys are looking for trouble. Don't give me this crap. Get out of here. I mean, this is the kind of reception we're getting. I have glitter on my face. I'm burning on the side. I'm burning on my arms. And I'm going, this is how you're treating us? I don't deserve this. We don't deserve this. We're the ones who are victims here, for real. And that doesn't count my being attacked at the MLK Plaza. So, we're at a point where I've had good discussions with lots of people. That guy who was, Black Lives Matter, but loved the Second Amendment, that was actually a very good discussion. I was talking about judicial stuff. I was really surprised. There's some pretty erudite people. One of the best things I loved relating, though, was the Nazis are left. The KKK are left. The Democratic Party has been fomenting racial violence since its inception, whereas the Republicans have been pushing civil rights. And 600,000 white men and black men too, I won't ignore that, gave their lives on fields of battle, many in line with the Republican cause to end the destructive, institution of slavery. And the fight for civil rights has continued. When you're fighting for every man to be able to own a firearm, to exercise his Second Amendment rights, that's very much in line with fighting for civil rights too. These things are very important. We're not going to allow the left to define us. I'm in total concert with Jovi's frustrations. I refuse to keep responding in defense to this white supremacist narrative. Oh, there are Nazis that show up at these rallies. The Nazis are with you. No, they're not. How many times will we denounce these race-baiting hate mongers? We need to call them out as the leftists that they are. And I found myself having to repeat this issue a number of times. I'm not afraid to do it. It was really something. I finally got to my car and I drove out of the area. Marco, Michael, Jovi I didn't know what else to do. I said, I've got to get out of here. But they informed me very quickly that they were fine. Fred Garvey was my point of contact. He ensured that they were okay as well. So a couple of people have been mentioning a few others, and I want to make sure I respond to that. Yes, I know. Joey and Tiny were mobbed. And I saw the video. Joey had he had a iron backbone. And Tiny was there. He had his football pads. They were able to find a phalanx of police, and they got behind him. But I do understand that they went to the hospital. I don't know what happened to them. I hope that whatever damage they sustained is very small and they'll be okay. It's very easy to be critical of the Patriot Prayer organizers. And I think that I wish they hadn't canceled the event. I wish that they had chosen to do it. And if necessary, reached out to other private forces like the Bikers for Trump to help out instead. Those are my views. I don't think we want to send a message in any way to these left-wing, hate-mongering agitators that we're going to back down. But we need to start being smart about this. And we need to ensure that the leadership which take on the opportunity to set up these events is grounded in a very clear conviction that safety will ensue regardless of what happens. When I go to Cudahy, I sat down. Cudahy, California is a sanctuary city. I've been there with Hareem, with other members of LA County for Trump and other people in the movement, We the People Rising. And Joseph Turner, part of American Children First, we sat down with the sheriff, with the lieutenant who's the commander for that and other cities. And they said, it's not, sheriffs were not going to serve as, they were not going to serve as private bodyguards. And he had then said, you should have private security. Maybe it's time for us to really think about that. Antonio Foreman, I hope he's watching this, or he's probably out there protecting somebody, which is more important. He serves as a protector for a lot of people, including Omar. So that's very important, very special. Proud Boys have served as protectors. That's very important and very admirable, and that's something we need to be willing to make more connections for. I think these are things to keep in mind. So, police, some are better than others. We need to start holding them accountable in that fashion. We saw what happened to Baked Alaska. That guy got pepper sprayed in the face. I kept being hounded about Charlottesville, constantly being hit, asked about that. We had reporters who were still trying to push this white supremacy narrative. I refused to take the bait. I said the Nazis are left-wing. These guys are pushing the ideology of Antifa. They are, as my history teacher pointed out, they're actually very close on a spectrum if you see it as a horseshoe rather than as a straight line. It was very traumatizing. And I got to tell you, it's like I was taking a deep breath there. I'm sure Vincent James had to tell me, Arthur, chill out. Arthur, chill out. And I understand. I mean, it's tough. And, I have so much respect, even more so for our good police and even more so for our military. I mean, the stuff that they go through, that they have to face on a daily basis, and yet they keep their nerves. They have nerves of steel. They have veins full of ice. They're cool. They're calm. And they can fight for our country and not lose it. It's just so commendable. And I'm glad that I could mention, while I was talking to people in the MLK Plaza, we have homeless veterans. They shouldn't be homeless. Why aren't we talking about that? Why do we keep talking about this white supremacy stuff? We have homeless veterans. The largest population is in LA County. I'm sure there's a large population in the Bay Area. San Francisco, they have tent cities. It's unbelievable. It's a housing crisis. People talk about it all the time. I see so many wonderful comments here. I saw so many wonderful people, commenting and sharing. I'll try to keep up as best as I can. John Stamreich here. John Stamreich is in the Navy, so he's seen military combat, and he helps young men to become, boys to become men. That's very important. I have such great respect for that. And he's he's down in the South Bay, just like me. We're talking the real South Bay, which is in LA County. I always like to say that to tease my East Bay friends. And they don't have a problem with it. We really got to think about that, though. we need to expedite formal complaints to the Department of Justice. Antifa is a terrorist organization. They are a terrorist organization. I'm glad that Donald Trump has pardoned Sheriff Joe Arpaio. And I had to speak to that a few times. I was glad to do that. We need to see our president make it very clear. He's the law and order president, and we're not going to allow these left-wing goons to terrorize communities, no matter how blue they may be or how red they may be. We need to send a message. We're just not going to have it. We're not going to have a set of laws for these Antifa agitators and a set of laws for us. I wonder what the news is going to be like. I wonder how many people we're going to see who've been in this movement. I got to tell you, I have such a profound respect for Marco Gutierrez. He would get in people's faces, and he had his poster, the poster I had made, "Our President," and he just shouted, "Donald Trump is your president!" And he just triggered the hell out of people. And he got into a very clear confrontation with the black man who was saying, Donald Trump's a fool, Donald Trump said this, Donald Trump did that, and I had an answer for it. I was willing to stand my ground on it. Donald Trump did very well with the African American community. I think the turnout, I understand, was 25%. Actually, 25% of the vote. Richard Nixon got 36%, so we got a ways to go. But we need to let black voters and Hispanic voters know that the Democratic Party has just put them onto another plantation, and that's wrong. William Johnson, I think, is a great spokesman for what conservative values are all about. Will Johnson, he has that great bandana with the red, white, and blue flag. That's just so impressive to me. I just really love that. I'm not really sad I lost stuff. I feel like we are really gaining the moral ground and the political ground. The world, the nation is seeing how insane the left has become, how desperate they've become, that even elected officials like Nancy Pelosi wanted to label a Patriot Prayer group a white supremacy movement. That's just desperate, shameful. That's such a smear tactic. There's just no excuse for it. And my hope is that we will see more of this movement going to blue cities that have been overrun with democratic corruption, and that we, as free speech advocates, as Trump supporters, will double down on the truth, and that we will refuse to back away. It's essential that we do this. I do have a slightly higher sense of caution now. We're seeing absolute merciless violence now, and I don't think I'm ready to go through what Jovi went through. I don't want to have a broken nose and a slashed face yet. Although this is a guy who's not afraid to stand up to anything. So, and Jovi's out there still doing stuff. It's incredible. That's what we have here. I'll try to respond to some of the comments here below. I don't know the status any further on Joey and Tiny. I understand that they went to a hospital. I hope that they're okay. Someone comments, and I agree, that the left is getting absolutely desperate. The more that they throw Trumper tantrums and destroy private property, the clearer it will be, the more prevalent and obvious it will be that they're a lost cause. If anybody knows or can see what happened to me, the people who attacked me, make something of it, make it happen. I could also tell you I will be at the Mother of All rallies in September. I'll be there in Washington, D.C. That's my plan. We need to start holding the media accountable, that they keep wanting to foment this. They want to foment this agenda of hatred. They keep pushing this white supremacy stuff. They have no interest in the historical actions on this. Fernando Guzman has just joined. Fernando called me 3 times and texted me, telling me, Arthur, you need to get out of there. You need to get out of there. And that was enough for me. Fernando doesn't blow smoke. When he's saying it, you got to follow it. And I did the best that I could with that. So that was very important to me. I think it should be a crime. There should be a clear outlined crime. People who are wearing masks, someone is mentioning a penal code 182 through 185. Conspiracy to commit crime, conspiracy to commit mass violence. Jerry Nance, thank you for that. We need to start really dropping the hammer on these corrupt cities, on these police departments that aren't following through. We just can't have this. I don't know if anybody was harmed. More seriously, seeing what happened to that guy in April, getting hit with a metal lock, but I know that professor got arrested, which is good. I can tell you, incidentally enough, Tiny and Joey, it was a wise idea that they went to Portland, because the chief of police in Portland, Oregon, is actually pretty hardcore. At one time, when people were, raising a fuss and causing trouble, there was a bridge, and so chief of police closed the bridge on both sides and said, if you're moving, you're going to be under arrest for an unlawful assembly. He did it. He issued all those citations. I mean, he fell down, he dropped on like a boss, and that's how you do it. Jeff Sessions, our Attorney General, needs to bring the hammer down on the state of California and all these lawless cities. These are civil rights violations that are going on. It needs to stop. So we've got sanctuary cities. This is a big problem. There's no sanctuary for American citizens. That's not good. That's something that we're seeing at great length, and that needs to be challenged. We need to be willing to reach out to people who can serve as our security. We need 1,000 Antonio Formans. That's what we need to be watching us and watching out for us. Bill Mosley, I would fight beside you any day, physical or political. Thank you. Whatever you're doing, whatever fight that you're doing, wherever you are, that's everything that we need to hear. There may be inferences or reports that come up. I won't be commenting on those. I will comment on what I saw with my own two eyes. Marco! Hey, Marco! What's up, guys? What's up, guys? Hey, Marco, how are you? I hope that you are safe. Thank you for all you're doing. Connie says thank you. I really appreciate it. Keith Avila. Keith, right there in Sacramento. I plan on being in Sacramento sometime next week. We need to take a stance against Senate Bill 54. This lawlessness is just outstandingly just evil, how it's becoming so prevalent. Governor Brown has serious concerns about Senate Bill 54. That says something. We need to dry up George Soros's money, because he's the guy funding this stuff. Go after their money, and they get really scared. I know Hungary is going after his operations there in, going after Soros's operations. So we need to help with that effort. So all of those are really key. Once again, Marco is safe. His son is safe. Jovi is safe. He's just, raising heaven, going over. Let me see if I can invite him. That would be really good. Let me see if I can invite Marco really quick, if he's able to jump on. I'll find him really quick. So there's like a new effort here. This is really exciting. I can't believe. Okay, so Marco's. Let me see. Hoping I can find anybody here. Look at all these great people. There isn't an invite option at this time. I'm sure that'll change. Jerry's back. Thank you. I got a phone call from somebody who now lives in Arkansas. People are attacking now statues of Martin Luther King Jr. This is just, it's just beyond loony. It's got to stop. We need to dry Soros up. I could not agree more. Anybody's got any ideas to do that? We're going to make this happen. We just can't have, we can't have this, subsidized lawlessness. Sabo was on earlier with his Periscope live feed, and we need a right-wing Soros, he suggested. Someone who's very wealthy and conservative and wants to fund and support us. That would be nice. I would appreciate. Hey, Joel, thanks for jumping in. I really appreciate it. Joel, stand your ground, protect ML. Martin Luther King Jr. was a Republican, by the way. Oh, leftists really hate hearing that. That's probably why they now go after him. He's the guy who spoke about tolerance and true open-mindedness, not this Antifa stuff where people are just shutting down. I hope this doesn't sound arrogant. I hope that I do see a picture of me in the news. I hope that somebody sees what I was doing at the gas station, but, more importantly, I think of that lady. The lady who was just a good Trump supporter and eggs were thrown at her. Such dishonor shouldn't be happening to anybody. And to see how savage the left is, and that we just can't allow such wickedness to continue. Somebody knows what that lady's name is, let me know. She's somebody who needs to be supported and honored for standing her ground. John K. Miller saw me live at the gas station. Great. Maybe somebody can send the video to me. I don't know if I can handle watching it, but at any rate, we need more of you. We need so many of you to jump in and do this. When there's more of us, you know, I mean, we don't need, you know, we don't need 10,000. But I was here in the Bay Area. I was here in late April, and our numbers were incredible. It was a magnificent free speech rally. It was really something, and we need more of that. That's very important. So I think this is a really good time for me to sign out. I want to run down very clearly. I'm safe. I've lost some things, but I'm safe. Marco is safe. His son Michael is safe. Jovi is safe. And we are not going to be intimidated. We are expecting to see some real action pushing against the abusive behavior of these liberal cities and the police who stand down and do not do their job. One more time, a shout out to Vincent James, David Feiner of the Red Elephants. They came there in the perfect time to pick me up. It was incredible what they did. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Please share this. Please share the other videos I took. I get comments about the quality of those videos. It's out of my control. It's not the camera itself. It has to do with the data that's available. And when there's a lot of people pulling at the same data towers, it creates a weaker, a weaker feed, weaker quality. But it's clear here. I see you guys clear, shining out, standing out. Keep doing your part. We need to really put pressure on the Department of Justice. We need to have Antifa declared a domestic terrorist group. The petition has gone out. I've signed it. Enough is enough. We are going to make California great again. We'll get rid of the illegals. We'll ensure that American citizens will be treated and recognized as citizens in their own country. And we will put an end to this hate. And we'll put an end to this left-wing Nazi, Antifa, George Soros-purchased lawlessness. Thank you again, everyone, for watching. And I got enough pressure. I'm coming back to Facebook little by little, but don't expect me to answer every friend request or every message. I'm so overwhelmed by so much of the support and so much of the work that you're doing. That's the most important. It's not just about following me. It's about you being able to do the things you need to do. Thank you so much. Please share this. Please make sure everybody sees the hatred that boiled over in Berkeley. Our prayers are with Joey and with Tiny and with the rest of the Patriot Prayer warriors. And we're going to keep fighting, and we'll keep making America great again and making California great again. God bless you all. Have a wonderful day.